Hey, Mike, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, Rob. How are you, man?
Doing good. It's feeling good after this game. It's been a long time since I've watched the Packer game where I'm like almost from after the first drive to the end of the game, I was pretty much sure we were going to win this one.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, offensive line, they're playing really well. We've got our kind of emotional rescue guy, Dobbs, back on board.
Romeo doubts.
Romeo doubts, and there's no doubt about it that he's back.
All right, so I have a slide deck. This will be the thing that I'll use to kind of prompt us through,
All right.
keep us on schedule.
Okay.
The first part of this is going to be a game time notable. So these are things that happen during the game that are important that we should probably pay attention to, that just kind of reminisce what's still fresh in our mind.
Right.
Of course, you always can't have a game after a suspension without including the player that was just suspended. And so Romeo doubts. A lot of people talked about what he had a problem with. Obviously, now the problem is over. Things are much better. Before his suspension, the Minnesota game, he had 8 targets, 4 receptions, and 39 yards.
Not good.
That was contribution to that game.
One game or in the season?
Just the one game.
Okay.
Obviously, there was enough going on in that game for him to decide that, hey, this may not be worth it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to just kind of maybe reevaluate my life. And so decided not to show up for practice. Now that he's reincorporated himself, we get to see how did that work out for him. So after the suspension, this game, the game that we just watched, he had 4 targets with 3 receptions and 49 yards.
No.
So mission accomplished.
So he got the same deal.
8 targets before and 4 receptions, and now he has 4 targets.
Oh, wait. Okay. So his numbers have gone down.
Well, his yards went from 39 to 49.
Well, got 10 more yards. Okay.
So there's love in the room.
I just keep thinking about him saying that he returned to the locker room with no emotion. Considering that he got 10 extra yards, there had to be a little emotion.
John and I, when we were talking about this, we were saying that what we should probably do is maybe like pick a player every week and have them take the week off and then give themselves the time to reevaluate their life.
That is a great idea.
And then we started suggesting players who should do this. And some of the suggestions were like Lock Mess.
Oh, yeah.
And then also Nervous Man. He could do for a week off.
Yeah.
There's probably a couple more we could come up with.
I think they should just have Anklets do those field goals because he's got those really long legs.
And maybe he has more flexibility in his ankles since they're so small. All right. The next player of note, Dontavian Picks. So last game, he had 7 targets with 2 receptions for 20 yards. And then this week, 3 targets and 1 reception for 9 yards.
I think it's time for him to go on strike.
Maybe he should take a week off.
I was going to say he needs to call in Week6.
I was thinking for this game, I looked back at the Minnesota game, he had 13 targets and 7 receptions.
Whoa.
He was the game plan when it came to Minnesota.
Yeah. Didn't he have a little bit of an owie in the game today, though?
Well, I didn't count owies. If that caused things to become unbalanced, I kind of missed that. So I will take it. Yes, there's probably an owie, and we'll have to make sure that the owie is taken care of before the next game.
Yeah.
Okay, the other thing I had to put in Nervous Man. Nervous Man himself, he was one of the players of the game.
I'm looking at Nervous Man. I'm thinking, this is the guy who comes when my septic tank pump has failed in the middle of winter. And somebody's got to go out there and fix it. And yet he's on an NFL football team. How did that happen?
I don't know. They have these stories. He's just one of them. The thing that throws me off, and I had to like check myself several times, his number is 44. So I always think that when there's a 44 out there, that's the running back.
Yeah, that's Chuck Foreman, Minnesota Viking.
Might as well be the running back kicking field goals. I mean, for all I know, maybe that was the mistake.
Right. They screwed it up. They should have given him a number like, 5. You're a kicker. Yeah.
Or 3.
Yeah, 3 or 6 would be, in terms of good mojo.
Yes, and 9 would work too, I think.
9's good.
There are numbers that may be available that he could take besides 44.
Let's get him a new number and get off. I think his number 44 is about his percentage of success.
I was thinking he probably wanted 4.
Oh, but everybody's like, no, man.
You can't be 4. Sorry, that one is unusable. I wanted to put this in here. It's like 70.6% of his field goals have been made this season. The league average is 86.3. And he doesn't kick the ball out of the end zone very much. There's a lot of runbacks today. There's more than I was used to seeing.
Yeah. I agree. Isn't the goal with the new kickoff arrangement though to try to like get somebody to catch it on like the 2 yard line? Isn't that ideal, or is it something else?
Personally, I have absolutely no idea what the goal is. I watch this thing and I go, this is broken. This is not going to work. I kind of miss, I was watching the Badger game yesterday and they were like kicking off the way that it used to be done. There's a lot of excitement going on there. And now 90% of the time, you might as well just put the ball on the 30-yard line.
Right.
No injuries that way.
Well,
All
with
right.
the old way, we got to see people hit each other at 100 miles per hour, which was a lot more value for my entertainment dollar.
Okay, so I thought that one other thing I'd like to cover sometimes when we're doing these kind of things, I want to use some tape, but I can't actually use tape because it's probably not legal. So I took some screenshots that provide a good teaching lesson for anyone who's watching this, so we can provide learning opportunities for any of our listeners so that they can understand more about how the game is played. Jordan Love, professional blocking training tape. So
Ooh, yeah.
this was a fourth quarter play where Jordan Love decided to take it on himself to block for not Jacobs. So Jordan Love on this play, obviously the up the middle was not working for this play. So Knock Jacobs decided to take it out. And Jordan Love said, hey, here's my chance to get involved. So he decided to say, I'm going to just, all right, I'm partaking in this. I am going to show my team that I am part of the team and I am going to take myself down the field to try to make this work. And so at this point in time, it's just where you want to run to get ahead of the runner so you can actually get yourself in a position of maybe helping the run. So at this point, when you're running with the player, that's the time when you tell the player, hey, I'm here. I'm going to be here to help you. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So he takes look at the first guy that's closest to him and he says, all right, footwork and pad level. This is what I have to focus on. This is what I've learned all my life. My 30 years of playing football ever since I was 2 years old, and I will help my teammate out. There's also an important thing about maintaining balance. Now, if you are accelerating so fast that you kind of lose your footwork, you kind of find yourself kind of maybe not in the perfect place for either pad level or footwork. When you're out of balance, you just put your arms up and try to see if that helps. So just kind of grab the guy, and hopefully the person who's actually trying to benefit from your partaking in this activity is going to be able to say, oh, okay, I'm ready to go. I can make this happen. When the guy's kind of pushed you away because you're not as big as he is, you kind of start to panic. You just kind of like hold as much as you can and kind of say, okay, this is how I'm going to do my part in this play to make sure that the running back is not going to be tackled by this guy. At this point, you try to reassess if it's even worth it anymore to be part of this. The guy's already passed you. You pretty much didn't do much. The running back is pretty much a dead duck. You still kind of look like you're participating because you know the tape is rolling. The people across the world are watching this game and they see that you're out there. So you kind of say, "Oh, I'm still doing this." Now it's time to decide whether you are just getting in the way.
He's playing the role of the bullfighter. He showed his red cape, and now he's getting out of the way so he doesn't get hurt.
You're totally out of the play. It doesn't even matter anymore. You just kind of watch the other blocker in this play and see how he does it.
Blocking it back. Good job.
Even though you're pretty much out of the play at this point, you still kind of run along. You kind of, yeah, I'm still in the play, but even though I have no part in this, whatever, I'm just gonna like jog along with you and kind of watch what's going on.
Sort of like an emotional support animal for the running back.
Yes. All right. At this point, you just forget it. You're out. The game is over. The play is over. I'm not going to run anymore. And then, even though the play is still going on, the guy isn't tackled yet. This is the time where you start heading back to the huddle.
He's working on getting his hands dry.
That's the Jordan Love professional blocking training tape for today's game.
That's nice. I think that was really well executed. He's keeping himself nice and clean and doing some nice symbolic work. Now, Brett Favre would have probably tweaked his wrist and maybe like taken a knee to the groin trying to get that guy down and had a few Vicodin after the game.
There you go. He'd be all set at that point. All right. So next week is the Texans, another home game for the Packers. The Texans are first in the AFC South. They beat the Patriots this weekend, 41-21. They can score points. They have a defense. They can play well. We'll just hope that the weather holds up for it. Any other comments about the game? Any other thoughts you have? That's pretty much.
Well, a question on the Houston game. That's That's in Houston.
Nope, it's a home game. So I have 2 home games in a row.
Okay, Packers 31, Texans 21.
Oh, you're making a prediction. All right. Well, I want to do maybe in a couple days. We'll have John working. We'll just do like a preamble to the game, maybe on Friday or something,
Okay.
and we'll go into detail. I just really just wanted to discuss what I saw in this game and share it with you. All right.
Great.
Well, take care, Mike. We'll talk to you next time. All right.
Okay. Bye for now.